Hi friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin and I'm happy that you're here. Today we're going to be doing a craft, which I'm actually going to call it a skill. So when I organize my time in my head, I'm not just wasting time doing a craft. I'm learning a new skill and I'm saving money, ideally, in the process. So we're going to be learning how to, or we're going to be attempting to learn together how to make our own candles and make our own wax melts. So this is one thing that I just like to do everything for myself. I very much become this person that I don't like to buy stuff from the store. I want to do it on my own if I can. And then number two, I think it's just a great skill to have in this homesteaded business. And three, I think it would make great gifts. So learning how to do this, instead of going out and buying a candle from the store, you could make your friends candles for Christmas or family members candles for Christmas. And you save money. And your homemade gift, so that counts as like I spent time on making you this gift, and that always for me makes me feel better when someone like spends time on me rather than just like buying something. So I think that this is just one, it's a great thing I think just to do. I think it's fun, and again I do think it's that skill that we can have. And then the second reason I want to do this is to save money, and third kind of is chemicals. So number two, I do think once you have the initial setup, I think this is going to be cheaper than buying candles. And I think you can buy the setup for cheaper than one candle. And we'll go over that in a little bit. Third thing is chemicals. So ideally candles should be scented with essential oils. And essential oils are non-toxic and they are safe for you. Some candles are scented with essential oils, which essential oils are safe for you. They're non-toxic. Aside from you maybe having allergies or asthma to that specific scent, the essential oils are fine for you. Some candles can be made with synthetic scents, and the synthetic scents may contain chemicals that may be harmful to you. Now it's not something that like I will buy a candle with synthetic scents in it and I'm gonna have a chemical reaction and keel over and die. No. If there are synthetic scents in it, it's going to be so small, it's really not going to affect you. But with this whole homestead in life, I'm just trying to take out as many things as possible, get rid of as many chemicals as possible. So I really want to make sure I'm being as healthy as I possibly can. And especially if you have some sort of allergy or asthma, there could be a possibility that the synthetic scents could be affecting you more than maybe an essential oil would. So I just want to move forward with making sure my candles that I make, hopefully, and my wax melts that I use are going to be as healthy as possible, as natural as possible, and I think I just feel better about using them and burning them, knowing that I made them and we're good, we're safe. So there are a couple of things that we're going to talk about in the process of making candles. So I made taper candles before, and I made them just for an emergency light source. Tapered candles don't hold scents very well, so I've never scented anything. This is gonna be the first time we're gonna scent something. The reason I'm doing this today is because I just burned up the last of my, this is a Walmart candle. It was a cider candle and I really liked it. I always have wax melts going in my house, these wax melts. I always have them in wax warmers because I have animals and sometimes my house does smell like I have animals. So I really try to mask it with wax melts. But for me, when you walk into a house that smells, this one smells like, this one's vanilla and this is cider. I just think it smells homey and it's like you're walking into a house that wraps its arms around you. I really like it. So I really like when my house has, just smells delicious. So I always have the wax melts going, and then when I have company over or I'm just like in the kitchen cooking or whatever, I like to have a candle burning, and this doesn't throw off enough scent to heat the house, but it does. What I really like is when I have a candle going and when I walk by it, I get that scent. So it's just that fun that'll like pop and you get that scent. So I like to have both going, not all the time, but I like to have both going. So we're gonna be doing both because I'm out. I don't have many wax melts left, and like I said, this candle is gone. It's no longer light, so it's gone. So I bought some essential oils. I bought some oils online for these candles. And And this was just the spice blend because I want to do fall candles. I had apple cider, harvest spice, gingerbread, pumpkin pie, what's this one? Cinnamon, and coffee cake. So I'm not going to be doing all these today, but we are going to be making some jarred candles and some wax melts. I've decided that my two favorites are the pumpkin pie. This one smells so good. This one is very strong. So because this one's so strong, I'm going to make this one, the pumpkin pie, into my jarred candles. And then I'm really loving this apple cider. That's what my current jarred candle was. This is gonna be my wax melt this time around. So let's talk about the things you need to do to make candles, the things you need to make candles. So first, if you're interested in just kind of playing around and seeing if you're interested in it, you can get this kit. And this is I'll see if I can link this down below. This is a candle making kit, and this comes with everything you would need to make candles. It comes with little wicks. It comes even with these little jars. And I think these jars are actually so cute. I will not be making candles in these. I will be making, the next time I make balms or tinctures or lotions, I will be putting them in these because they're just so stinking cute. It comes with wax. It comes with wax, and then it comes with, I'll show you, a little, and you don't need this, but it does help when you're doing candles. This is a wax melter. So if you want to melt the wax in here, and then you can pour the wax into your jars. I have one going on the stove now, and I'll show you that later. This kit also came with essential oils. We have lavender, lavender, orange, vanilla, and something else. So this comes with, oh, they're in here, duh. Lavender, sweet orange, lemon, jasmine, lily, and freesia. They smell so good. So this came with everything that you would need to do candles. So if you're interested in this, this is a great kit to do. I'm now wondering if these are essential oils or if they're synthetic oils. So this whole thing might have been done for nothing. Oh well. We're gonna plow ahead anyway, and we're just gonna hope that I stuck to my original plan and they're actually essential oils. I don't know. Okay, so you can either buy that kit or you can do what I initially did. I got this kit as a gift and I love it. I think it's such a great gift for me and I am so excited to use it. But when I first started making candles, I did it on my own. So I got tapers and I got wicks. So these are wicks with tabs. So these are great if you want to make a jarred candle like this. And this is what we're going to be using today. So I have some of these, which is going to be great. And then this is just cotton string. And this is for pillar candles or taper candles. So this is when you just kind of hold the string and you dip it into the wax multiple times and you build up that pillar. That's what we use this for. Today, since we're using jars, we're going to be using wicks. Wicks with tabs. And the tabs mean it just has a bottom piece to hold it. You can also choose to color your candles if you want. You can buy candle wax melts. These are color squares. I have green and blue. I have some green wax melted on the stove currently from when I made my taper candles. So some of these candles are going to be green just because that's what I have. And I didn't really feel like going out to the store to get wax. And I would have probably tried to get like a red or an orange wax. I didn't feel like going out to get that. So these candles are just going to be white, but they're going to smell good. They're not going to be like, especially because this is the first time I'm kind of testing it. I didn't want to spend a lot of money that I didn't need to in case this wasn't going to work. So like I said, you need wicks. If you want to color it, you can have color. You need your oils. And then you need the wax. So we're going to talk about the different types of wax because there are 3 different types: paraffin, soy, and beeswax. And they all have their pros and cons. So I've written my pros and cons down. So soy wax is made from soybean oil, and it is a natural product, but it does contain other non-soy materials. So since it's a natural product, it's a clean fuel burn-in source. So it's a clean burn-in source, which I like. Soy has a longer burn time than paraffin. So let's talk about paraffin and then we'll compare these two. Paraffin wax is made using crude oil. It's a mined wax and it's made from using crude oil. Or paraffin wax is made from, no. Paraffin wax is made from using crude fossil fuels. Oil, no. Paraffin is created using crude oil fossil fuel. It is also a natural product, which means it also has a clean burn-in fuel source. So next I want to talk about our wax. So there's 3 different types of wax that you can use. Next I want to talk about our wax. There are 3 different types of wax that you can use: beeswax, soy wax, and paraffin wax. So first I'm going to talk about the 2, soy and paraffin. Every wax has their own pros and cons to it, so you have to figure out which wax you want to use to purchase when you want to do this project. So soy wax first is made from soybean oil, and it can contain other non-soy materials. It is a natural product, which means it has a clean burn-in fuel source, or it is a clean burn-in fuel source. Paraffin wax is created using crude oil fossil fuels, and it is also a natural product, and it also is a clean burn-in fuel source. So soy wax is made from soybeans. Paraffin is a crude oil. Where the 2 really start to differ, where it kind of becomes a little bit more important to figure out which one you want to do, when we talk about the burn temperature, the burn-in point. A paraffin candle burns at a lower temperature than a soy candle. So what that means is a paraffin candle will throw scent faster and throw scent more because your candle is melting more, emitting more of your scent. A soy candle is very dense, so soy wax is denser than a paraffin wax, which means it has a higher burn temp, so it needs to get hotter for it to burn. So what that means is your paraffin wax will burn faster, but you'll throw more scent. Your soy candle will burn slower, but it won't throw as much scent. It'll still throw scent, but not as much. So this soy burns longer, a little less scenty, a little less smelly. Paraffin burns shorter, but throws more scent. And because the soy wax burns at a higher temperature, when you light that candle, it can take longer for you to get a scent. It'll take longer for that candle to melt to start releasing a scent. So those are the 2 main waxes you're going to be most likely choosing between. I went with a paraffin wax. I went with a high melt paraffin wax. I bought this box on Amazon, and you can get different size boxes. This is I think this was a 5-pound box, either 5 or 10 pounds. I'm not sure, but for about a 5-pound box of wax, you're probably looking about $20, $25. 10 pounds would be about $40, $50. So the wax is a little bit more expensive, but you do get more candles for that price. I think this candle, which is from Walmart, I think was probably like $10, I think. Yankee candles are about $30. So this would make more candles than what you could buy at the store, even though this is a larger upfront cost. So those are the 2 waxes that you're most likely going to be choosing between. There is a 3rd wax, beeswax, which is, I love this wax, and I do want to get beeswax just to make some beautiful beeswax candles. With beeswax, it is more expensive than soy or paraffin. Beeswax is a little bit more of an expensive wax, so I'm not using beeswax to learn on. I want to make tapered candles with beeswax, because beeswax will age beautifully. The color will be beautiful. You won't have to add any color. You know, beeswax candles are really pretty as they are. So I want to kind of get my tapered candles down before I get beeswax. I want the beeswax candles to look really pretty, and those want to look nice, whereas the ones I currently made don't look nice, but that's okay. Beeswax doesn't hold a scent great. You can scent it, but it's not going to throw a lot of scent. So I wouldn't use beeswax for candles like this. I would only use beeswax if you're trying to make tapered or pillar candles that you're doing more for the show. You kind of want the candle to be this beautiful candle on its own, not necessarily have a candle for the purposes of making a room smell nice. I think we're gonna be starting with just making 2 candles today and then 1 batch of wax melts just to see how it goes. I do have wax, like I said, melted on the stove that I think will be enough for these 2 candles and potentially the wax melts. So I am using old Tostitos jars. I like to save jars. I think this is a great use of just jars. I would like to take the label off of this jar. I can't get it off, number 1. Number 2, especially with Tostitos jars, I've gotten the paper labels off before and it has been sticky. I wasn't able to get the residue off the jar itself. So I don't want to take the label off because I don't want to make just like a sticky product. So I'm honestly not going to mind that for my personal home use candles, they have the label on. But if you're making these as gifts, you use these jars, get the label off, or buy like mason jars to do it in. So another thing that you don't need but is nice is this is a candle wick holder. So what I mean by that is, let's go ahead and open these guys. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do these guys. These came in my kit and they're shorter. They're not cotton, but they're much shorter than these guys. So you can see it has the wick and then it has a base on it, and that base just kind of helps hold it. I know. And that base just kind of helps hold it in my jar. So with these things, you can just stick your wick in there and you can then pour your wax. Oops, hold on. So with those metal pieces, you can just stick your wick in there and it'll hold your wick up for you, which is great. Just like that. And then you can pour your wax in here and it'll just hold your wick for you rather than it falling against the side of the jar like this. So this came in my kit. If you don't have these, I would just say just hold it. You know, you could get by and just hold it. That's completely fine. So these wicks that came in the candle kit are actually the great size for my jars. I'm not going to have to cut too much out, which I like. I don't like waste. So I like that I don't have to cut these out. So I'm just going to get 2 of these. And like I said, we're going to do the candles first and then we'll do the wax warmers. So for the candles, I'm going to do 1 with the pumpkin pie. And then, I don't know which one I want to do next. I'm in cinnamon. Ooh, that smells yummy. I have apple cider is going to be the wax melt. That I know. Gingerbread. Maybe gingerbread would be yummy. That is yummy. I don't know which one I want the next one to be. Coffee cake? I think we're going to do coffee cake. I think I'm going to do 1 as pumpkin pie and 1 as coffee cake. I'm doing lots of desserts. So now we just got to wait for that wax to melt. And then we will get these guys made. This is a double broiler, and this is what I used last time I made my candles. I made my taper candles. You need something big. Hold on, move this. You need something tall and long when you make the taper candles, because you can see I would dip this entire length, and as much wax as I had, in this container is how long I could get my taper candles to. Is how long they could be, how tall they could be. So when I made that, I had a lot of wax left over. So I'm just using that same wax. I've just melted it, and this is how you're gonna do your candles. You're just gonna put your wax into some sort of double broiler. You can even use, and I have used before, even just like a bowl over the pot, like a regular, like you're melting chocolate. But using something like this is nice because it has a pour spout. And then when I made the taper candles, which I won't do again in all honesty, I'll make the candles again. But what I did is I ran out of string and I got tired of dipping. So I let the wax harden in this container. So this has been on the stove for about an hour. I did have it initially sitting in here with this in the pot, and it was just taking too long. So I finally decided to put it just in the pot of water itself, and that really helps speed up the melting process. But next time if I have wax left over, I'm just gonna pour it into a candle. I'm just gonna find a jar and pour it into a jar, just because it took a little bit of time. But this is just melting. Again, you just wanna put your wax in here to melt, and then we're gonna add it to our container, and that's when we're gonna add the scents. So this is almost melted, and to stir it to make sure it's all melted, I just use a chopstick, and this is what I used last time. I might actually put him in here to melt. You see I have a lot of wax filled up on him. I think I'm just gonna actually leave him in there and melt. But I like using chopsticks because if I throw it away, I don't really care. It doesn't hurt my feelings if I have to throw it away. So this guy is almost melted. While I'm waiting for him to melt, I have my jars with the wick and the holder in them. This one needs to be straightened out a little bit. This one is curled. And you want to try to have the wick in the center, as close to the center of the jar as you can. I have my oils with me, and then to make the wax melts, they do sell either the plastic containers that you buy the wax melts in, perhaps if you want to sell it. They do sell them online, and they also sell little soap molds. I found some really cute ones that look to be about the size of just a regular cube of wax that were in the shape of owls. And so if this works, I will eventually buy a wax melt silicone thing. But for now, just to try it, I'm just using a soap mold. This is the regular silicone mold. It's just square. And my plan is just to pour it in here and then cut them and see if it works. I didn't want to spend the money to buy that little owl silicone mold if I wasn't a huge fan of these. So we're ready. As soon as the wax is done, we can get it poured. And this has taken me a long time just because I was waiting for the hardened wax to melt. But normally it doesn't take too long. You just gotta melt that wax and then you pour and it's ready to go. While we're waiting on that though, we can talk about our oils. I know that because I'm using store-bought jars, it says on here that this is a 15.5-ounce jar. So when it comes to your scent, you want to use between 30 to 40 drops of your scent per 8 ounces. So this jar is just under 16 ounces. So it's 30 to 40 drops per 8 ounces. If you double that, it's 60 to 80. So I'm going to go with about 70, right in the middle. So I'm going to go with about 70, which is right in the middle. 70 drops of the oil in each jar. And for the molds, I don't know how big these are. So I think for these I'm going to start with 20. Maybe like between 15 and 20 drops in these. And then these are obviously just going to be an experiment. We might need to up it. We might need to lower it. You know, we'll do this and we'll see how this goes. So the actual candle making was super fast. You just pour the wax, add your scents. I tried to be quick about it for some reason, and I added these 2 scents at once, my pumpkin pie and my apple cider. And then one of the wicks I actually hit, and I knocked the whole thing into the candle, so I had to get that out. So I lost count of how much oil I put in here. I think I'm close to 70, but I honestly lost track. And then in my soap molds, I put about 15 drops of oil in each one. I did get a lot more wax than I thought I was going to get. So I did 3 big apple ciders, 3 gingerbreads, and then I still had some wax left over. So I did a gingerbread, a 3rd gingerbread. So a 3rd jar candle. So I'm excited about this. It smells really good so far. So I'm hoping that's like indicative of what it's going to smell like when I melt them. So I'm going to go do some more projects while these guys completely cool. And then once they are cool, tonight we'll light one and we'll see what we think. Hi friends. So it's been a couple of days since I made my candles, and it's been a little bit of whirlwind of a couple of days. So I made the candles, and that night I burnt this first one. And as you can see, I didn't have, right there is my wick. It's not in the middle of the candle, even though I thought it was. It definitely moved. But we're just burning that one. So the first night I burnt this candle, and I burnt my wax melts, and I was less than pleased because I didn't smell anything. I couldn't smell anything. It made me sad. So I wasn't going to actually post this video. And then this morning at work, I decided, you know what, you're going to post a video, and it's just going to be a little bit of a fail. The candles don't have any scent. Still post it, and then maybe it can be like, okay, we started here. Let's see if we can get better next time we do it. So I just pulled out the candles. I just pulled out the candles to film this section, and lo and behold, they have smell now. Even the wax melts, which didn't have any smell, have smell. So let me open this one and smell it again. I just closed it. So today is Tuesday. I made these Friday. Let me smell. These don't have a ton of scent, but the whole bag as a whole does. These are definitely my apple cider ones, and I can definitely smell the apple cider. So with my apple cider wax melts, they smell apple cidery, but they're not as strong as I would have wanted them to be. So let's discuss. What does this mean? So this guy that I already started burning, no scent. This guy, scent. This guy, scent. Now I've smelled too many things now. Now I just don't know if I smell anything anymore. But when I smell these first 2 candles, they definitely smell like pumpkin pie and coffee cake, and these without a doubt smell like apple cider. So what is my takeaway? My takeaway is that the candles apparently need to cure a little bit. I did wait until this one was fully set to burn it. And there's no scent. These guys have just been sitting. One I did have a lid on. Yeah, this one's definitely coffee cake. This one's definitely pumpkin pie. They definitely have more scent than they did on Friday. So I'm thinking that they need to just sit and maybe their smell develops over time. My wax melts had 0 scent coming out of the mold, and these are 100%, no one would doubt that these are apple cider. So apparently you just need to let them sit and cure. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let these guys keep sitting on my counter and just hopefully keep developing smell. I didn't realize that that was a thing, but that is what appears to be happening. I'll say my gingerbread wax melts don't have any smell. They still don't have any smell. So for the wax melts, the big cubes that I did about 15 drops in each one. So we need to definitely up that quite a bit, double if not triple it. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give the wax melt some more time, let them sit, see if they develop more smell. If they don't, I will just remelt these back down, super, super easy, remelt them, and then add more oil, and then see if that works. with the candle I've already started burning, we're just gonna keep going. He's gonna be an ambiance candle now. With my other ones, you can see this one, the wax got all messed up. The wick got all messed up. But with these 2 candles that are left that do have some smell, I'm gonna let them just keep sitting and see if they develop their smell some more. Worst case scenario, they don't develop their smell, and I will just go again, remelt these and add more oil. I added about 70 drops of my oil into each one, but maybe that's not enough. So I'm gonna let these guys sit. I definitely don't consider this a failure. These smell. These 100% smell, and they smell 100% more than they did when I made these on Friday. So I'm pleased. I don't call it a failure. And so we're just gonna let these sit, see as they cure if their flavor or their smell develops more. And then, like I said, if they don't, we'll just remelt them and just add some more oil. That's not a problem. So that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Stay tuned. I will keep you updated on what I do with these guys. If I just burn them as is, or if I remelt and add some more oil. So if you guys have done this before, or you decide to do this, let me know how this goes. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to like do new things and do new crafts and experiments. And this is a craft that benefits the homestead. So I think that's fun. So thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys got some ideas from this, or maybe you decided you want to try making candles on your own. Hopefully you might have better luck than me. Add more oil. Always err on the side of too much oil than not enough oil. But thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.